Ah, what a nice summer day. Summer is such a summery time for...
Not anymore, babe. It's complete. It's August. It's officially fall season. We got to start crafting for fall. It's all changing now.
No, summer. It's summer.
No.
Baby, don't say fall.
Fine, autumn.
Don't say fall.
Okay, fine, autumn.
Okay, thank you. Because if you say fall...
Fall. Can we do it again? That's hilarious.
Happy fall, y'all.
Y'all.
Bye.
Bye. All right, everyone. Welcome to the first of the month collab, Welcoming Fall, hosted by At Home with Gigi, Rustic and Lace DIYs, and our guest host this month is DIYs with Aria. Project number 1. And we're gonna get right into some fall DIYs. Guys, I just wanted to craft with some interesting stuff. I'm very into cottagecore, and we're gonna go as cottagey as we can this fall. So I have some of these bottles in my stash, and I've had forever. I don't know, it's been probably good 4 years since I've had them, and I grabbed out some clay, and we are going to play with some clay. I'm just grabbing basically a dowel rod, and I'm just using that to spread it out real thin. And I'm gonna lay down our bottle here because I don't need the top of it done, and I want the bottom to be pretty pretty clear of the clay, so we don't have any problems with it sitting. So we're just gonna wrap it around here. Now, I had a lot of problems with this cracking at after it was dry, but to be completely honest with you, it did exactly what I thought it was going to, and I didn't mind it cracking because my thought was old cottages, and old cottages are very, stucco and very cracky and, that kind of thing. Anyway, so this stuff here that I'm using is very thin wood. This is actually for weaving baskets. Now, I skipped forward of this. I'm just cutting this stuff down. I'm going to save you the trouble of watching me struggle with all this, and I'm taking it all off. And I got smart after probably good, 15-20 minutes of me struggling with trying to glue all of these down on here. That's why I skipped forward. So, I decided to go in with some jute twine and wrap all the way around our lovely little top up here to make it easier to glue our items onto, because I was using some tacky glue, Alien's tacky glue, and I was trying my darndest to use some kind of adhesive to where I wasn't going to just use hot glue, because hot glue does not stick to glass very well. And I went, ended up starting to try to use, excuse me. Oh my gosh, I apologize, guys. I ended up trying to use hot glue just for a simple fact is I wanted to stick some until my tacky glue would dry. Yeah, it just was not working in any shape or form. So I was just like, you know what? We're going to get smart, and we're going to wrap it. And now we're going in and we're just gluing all of these pieces down, and it worked 20 times better. 30 times better. So now you're kind of just seeing me just piece it together. A lot of that stuff was already glued together and it was pretty easy just to stick on there. And now I'm kind of just shaping a bunch of my other ones and filling it in and all of that. We wanted some shingles and we got shingles for the top of our house. I'm now going to go in with some ivory paint. I chose ivory because it's going to kind of give it a little bit more look like stucco. And kind of like sun-kissed and everything from being very aged, very old, dated. Like I said, I was going for that old cottage look. And now I'm going to take a little frame. This is a wooden frame. And I'm just using it as a template, as a stencil. And I'm just cutting out a little circle in the middle with my X-Acto knife. And we're going to use this as our windows. We're going to peel out oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. The clay. Okay, anyway. And then, you can kind of see the writing that was on the bottle, and I am just basically taking my X-Acto knife and just rubbing that off. I didn't actually know where the beginning or the front of this was, but obviously I was pretty dead on. And I was on the front of it the whole time. So I had to, I had a bunch of residue from the clay, first of all, and then I had some of the writing on there, so I was just scraping up all of that stuff. And then we're gonna make ourselves a little door here. Peel out our door. And I do have to peel off all that writing too. I won't show you all of that. After that, I decided I was gonna go back in and add a little bottom to the door there. It just seemed like it needed it. It needed the little doorstep. Now we're gonna make it more fall-ish. So we're gonna take out a little bit of, I think this is chestnut, and I'm going to draw on some branches here. And I'm just basically hand drawing just whimsy brush strokes and try to get some little branches coming off of the bigger branches and whatever floats your fancy on this, basically. And then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of red. This is candy apple, and I'm just basically just dabbing, making little red fall leaves all over in our trees here. Started off with this color, and then once I am satisfied in all three of our trees with our coverage, I don't go extreme, but I do enough. I'm gonna take harvest orange, and we're gonna go over with some harvest orange as well. As much of the fall colors as we possibly can. I don't go in with yellow, but you're more than welcome could go in with yellow as well. I stayed with the more vibrant colors. These are my two favorites in the fall. And like I said, I'm just filling up as much as I possibly can in what I feel necessary in the trees. Now I'm gonna grab out some little fairy lights. I got these in a pack of I think it was pack of 6 or something like that from Amazon a while back. These are just one of the packs that I had left from that. And just kind of unraveling them, and we're gonna stick it down in our little house, so you'll be able to see the lights through the windows and the door. Now the little battery pack does stick out behind it, but it doesn't look too bad. I don't mind the little mushrooms down there. I thought they were really cute sitting next to them. I was going to try to figure out how to attach them, but the glue and stuff is still really wet, so they just weren't going to work. But I did add a couple of little mushrooms on top. And you'll see more of that in the final reveal. Project number 2. So, I did have a chance to go and make another little gnome. This time we're going to make our little gnome a little bit different. So I'm going to grab this sock and I'm going to cut the cuff of the sock off, and we're going to fold it inside out. And we're going to set that aside for a minute. Now I'm going to take the black sock, which is going to be his body, and I'm going to cut that off right above the heel. I'm going to fill that up with rice just to give a little bit of weight to his booty. You can use rocks or pebbles or sand or whatever you have on hand. You don't have to use that. You can even use poly beads. Poly beads are a little more expensive. Then I use the rest of with it polyfill. You can also use plastic bags, stuffing from pillows, whatever you have on hand. Polyfill I just have on hand. Stuffed him and I put a little rubber band, but I also tied him off with a piece of jute, because rubber bands don't last forever. So this is where I'm going to mess up here, and I left this in because I don't know where my head was. I have it flipped inside out, so I glued down here, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to make this into a cone shaped. I want it to kind of look, like a cone hat, basically. But then I was thinking, why did I just do that? Because I already have it folded, and you'll see inside the hat the excess of it. So that is not going to work. So I had to cut off that part of where I glued on both pieces after I peeled it up. I peeled it up easy enough to where I could get it unpeeled without ripping the sock or anything early enough, because I caught it early enough. So right here, I'm actually going to make more of a little knot or whatever you want to call it on top of the cone. More of a point. That's where I want to go with. So I'm kind of just folding in the little areas up there at the very top. And now we're just going to hot glue these sides down. Just like that. Which is where I make sure that you leave it to cool. That was another mistake that I did. I was getting ahead of myself. So after it's cool, this is what you have. Now I do use a paintbrush to kind of just make sure that I got everything stuffed out to its best ability here. And now, since I don't have nothing to stuff at the very top of it, I have to stuff it now, because I don't need to tie it off at the top anymore. So we're going to glue his beard down. I hope all that mumbo jumbo just made sense, because my mouth is going like 90 miles an hour right now. So now we stuffed our little hat, and we're going to put that right on his little head here. And I actually think this turned out perfect. I was a little skeptical, and I was hoping I wasn't going to mess up this sock, because I only got like 2 orange socks in the pack that I have. We're going to move his little stuffing or his little beard out of the way here, and we're going to glue down that little nose and glue down his little brim to his hat down to his nose. And now we're going to grab a piece of ribbon here, and I'm going to just wrap this right around the rim of his hat here, just for a little decorative embellishment. It's a little brown ribbon. And now we're going to make a little awareness ribbon, and we're going to tie that off into a little bow. And we're going to use that with some jute twine here. And then cut off the excess. And then we're going to glue the little bow right down to the side of his little hat here. Just like that. I was trying to think if there was any leaves or something that I could add to him, but I really didn't like that orange leaf. It was blending in too much, so I decided not to do that. But he does need a couple of little freckles on his nose, so I decided to go in with some chestnut, and we're going to add a couple little freckles onto his nose here. And then I'm like, I have these wired glasses in my stash. And then I found this little acorn. I think it used to be a button or something. And I was like, I'm going to try adding these little wired glasses to his face. Now, these are I'm just basically just kind of stuffing them into the socks to try to get them to stick in there. The little acorn I glued to the front of the bow to kind of hide the jute twine. And now we're going to try to glue down these little glasses onto his little face here. I didn't want a whole lot because I didn't want it to look goopy. But there you guys have it. And now we're going to get right into the final reveal. Here we are in the final reveal. You guys see what I mean by it cracking. But like I said, guys, I'm actually okay with that. It really kind of makes it look more like an old cottage. I really like how that turned out. Some of those shingles got a little long and everything too, but that's okay too. It's very cute. I thought it was adorable. You saw it with the lights on, and now with the lights off. And here is our little gnome, all cute and ready for fall. I think we're leaning on Professor Cornelius, because he has the little glasses. He looks like a little professor. Let me know if you guys have any other name suggestions in the comments. Like I said, I think Professor Cornelius is kind of what we're leaning towards. But Cornelius has been done many, many times. So if you guys have any better suggestions, let me know. Make sure you guys go check everybody else out in the playlist. Make sure you give them all some love and like and follow and all that good stuff. And I will see you guys all in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a blast, and yeah, welcome fall. I am so ready for fall weather, you guys. I can't wait. God bless you all. Bye.